Hey everybody, in this short video I want to show you guys how we can add CSS to an HTML file. There are three methods, let's get into it. The first way to add CSS to your website is to link a style sheet to your HTML file. To create a style sheet, we can simply create a new file, and in this file we're going to create a selector, which in our case is going to be h1, and we're going to say that everything within h1 tags is going to be of the color red. Then we're going to go to Save As and save this style sheet in the same folder that our HTML file is in. We're going to call this style sheet style.css, so make sure to keep that name in the back of your head. Now you can press on save. Back in our original HTML file, we now link to this new CSS file we just created. And notice that the reference that I've used here is style.css, which corresponds exactly to the file we just created. Below the reference, we can now add h1 tags, and within the h1 tags, we're going to add some text, such as method1 global CSS. If we now save and run this in the browser, you will see that the text appears in red color. And this rule applies globally to any HTML file which is linked to the style.css file. But we can also declare CSS on a more local level, which is specific to a file. And this brings me to the second method. We can simply use style tags, and in between the style tags, add the CSS that we want to apply. Any CSS which we write in here is only applied to this specific file. Below that, I am going to write method2 file CSS and enclose it in h1 tags. When we display this in the browser, you'll see that two things have changed. The first thing you'll see is that the text we just wrote is blue, which is exactly what we wanted. But in addition to that, you'll notice that the text above that, which was initially red, is now blue as well. And the reason why this happens is because the file-specific CSS code, which we added in between the style tags, overrides the global CSS, which we declared in the style.css file which we created earlier. And the last method I want to show you is applying CSS directly to an element. And you can do that by applying a style attribute to a specific tag, such as the h1 tag over here. And in the browser, you'll see that the text method3 element CSS is green. And that is because the element specific CSS overrides the file specific CSS as well as the global CSS.